We're heading home with the equipment now. We are going to move to, well, a field right down the road from our shop, actually. Obviously, it's wet and raining, and it was wet last night when I was picking ear corn. So, I went to take the Gleaner to just go pick off the last 7 rows that I didn't use for ear corn. And I realized I turned the dial to the fuel gauge side of things, which you guys that run Gleaners know that everything's on a dial in them and it all shows up in the same screen. Well, the fuel gauge on a Gleaner is pretty much just a relative number to what the fuel level is in the tank. Well, it was like on 2. It was like, oh no. So the last little bit of corn that I picked with it, I picked on Fumes. So, Dad and I and Mom are going to move equipment home. Mom's feeling a lot better today. She's not sick anymore. Must just had like a little 24-hour bug or something. So, we're going to head home with the 4955 and the grain cart and the 1660. I'm going to grab maybe 15 gallon of fuel just in a couple jugs because Dad's truck don't have a fuel tank in it. And we'll come back and we'll dump some fuel in the Gleaner and go pick off those last 7 rows. And I want to see if the 1063 corn head will pick up the rows that we picked with the ear corn picker, just to see if it'll pick them back up. And if I go the opposite direction, if there might be an ear corn or 2 that got left, it'll grab them and chew the stalks off some. So we'll see what happens. Kind of curious to see what it does. So we are going to bring the stalk chopper back and chop them stalks, or just run them with my disc ripper and it'll chew that shit right up. So we're going to get back to the shop. I'll grab some fuel, we'll come back, we'll finish picking off them few rows of corn, and then all the equipment will be home. Okay, so I got me 10 gallon of fuel, brought a couple jugfuls down, got her dumped in. Gonna head back and pick off the last 7 of those rows. It is windier than a room full of politicians right now. Some ridiculous amounts of wind. I think it's probably pushing 50-mile-an-hour gust out there. It's just terrible. So hopefully this corn's all standing pretty good. The wood's protected it, I think. So I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna get this corn picked off real quick, and we're gonna head back to the shop. It won't be much, so I'll just run down the road with it in a hopper. Actually make the combine ride a little bit better. So it won't be too bad. We'll take it home, we'll dump it on one of the semis sitting there in the yard. So we'll get back here and see what we got left. It looks like it's standing real good from what I can see. So should pop her up in high and go a little faster, but I ain't got nothing else to do today. It's Sunday. It's a relaxing day. Just gonna move this stuff home, and it's probably gonna be about it. We're gonna do Dad and I are gonna do an unboxing video on the new Evolution saw. Pretty excited about that. The nice thing about the Evolution saws is they use the carbide saw blade in them instead of an abrasive wheel, and they don't get your materials hot. So you can touch it after you've cut it without getting burnt. And I guess they cut a little bit faster. I've never actually had one, just seen a lot of videos on them, but I've never owned one. I've got the Evolution handheld cut-off saw, like a gas-powered concrete saw, but it's electric. Oh, that thing has been wonderful. I love using it. I've cut sheet steel with it. I've cut plate steel with it. Cut long lengths of angle iron and C-channel to bring them in my shop. Just run an extension cord outside, whack off a piece you need. So, very, very nice tool. I love it. Might do a follow-up video on it. I done an unboxing video on it, but I never done a follow-up video on it on what I thought about it after using it for, well, hell, I've used it probably a good 8 months now. The thing has just been great. So, and we're going to do a follow-up video on the Heart tools, the Heart cordless tools from Walmart. I never did get the 1/2 inch impact and the 3/8 impact ordered. Just kind of got busy and kind of forgot about them, and realized the other day, oh shit, I forgot to order them 2 tools. So we still got plenty of stuff to work on, so I'll get them ordered and we'll have them. Hey, there goes a squirrel. There goes my prophet. Hopefully nobody shoots it. So he's going to go up there and live in that tree. So let's get drove over there and get that corn picked off. Okay, so we're back here. We're going to get started picking. Had to stop and take a leak. Talk about treacherous peeing conditions out there. You've got to be hiding behind something. Woo! Or you're going to end up pressure washing something. So let's see what we got. It's pretty wet. We're going to see if it'll stand up them corn rows from the air corn picker. Which it looks like it's trying. It's getting some of them. So we'll see what happens. If there's an ear or so on them, maybe it'll pluck it off. So there's 3 rows, and then there's 4 rows over there. The reason I didn't take them all was because the end of the planter is in there, and there's a tight row in there. So just decided to take 3 and 4. It's doing a fairly good job picking them back up. At least it'll cut them off, grind them up a little bit. If it wasn't wet, I think they'd go right up in. But at least we can trim them off a little bit. If the tractor wouldn't have ran them over, they'd probably be fluffy enough that they'd run right back up in there. I need to tighten my hydrostat up a little bit in this combine. It creeps forward. Next thing you know, I'm going 4 miles an hour. A little friction deal in there I need to get in there and tighten up. So, okay, we're gonna get this picked off and we're gonna get headed home. So the wind was just starting to blow some of this over, like right there. So we got it just in time. Let's see if it'll pick any of that up that the ear corn picker run over. It's getting some of it. I don't want to run the head too low. There's no ears on it. I just want to kind of cut some of that off. There might be an ear here and there, but I don't know. I just don't want to plug a row unit up doing that. It's kind of not worth it. Tough as I thought it would be. It's not a lot of head shell. But like I said before, the grain's dry. It's 14%. It's just, at this point, it's the stalk that gets tough. Bringing that up in pretty good. Cutting them stalks off. Well, that's it. Time to head home. See what we got in our house. Well, we got probably 20 bushels in there. It's fairly good corn through there. So, okay, time to head home. So I had to get out. It's kind of interesting to see the difference between just rolls and knife rolls. I mean, everything's cut off, chewed up, kind of fluffed up. You know, there's nothing left here on the stalk. You can see it. cut them right off. Here's their stalks, you know, and then run a disc over that and peel them right out, or stalk chopper, mow them off, and no-till right into that. Come over here to just rolls, and you've got full stalks laying here and still attached to the ground. Like that stalk is still attached. So I'll show you a little bit of difference between knife rolls and just rolls. And let's talk about the corn head real quick. So the way these corn heads work, these two rolls turn towards each other. These rolls have knives on them. You can see the knives right here. The knives grab the stalk, jerk it down through, and as it jerks it down through, it's cutting that stalk up. It's just chewing it all the way through as it pulls it down and forces it down to the ground. The butts of the ears hit these stripper plates. When that butt hits that stripper plate, it pops it off the stalk. The gathering chains grab that ear and they drag them up and they throw them in the auger trough. And then the auger trough runs them across. The ear corn picker has two rolls that run against each other, but they rely on that butt of that ear hitting them spinning rolls, and the rolls act like the stripper plates. But the problem is those rolls are constantly pinching. When that butt of that ear gets pinched in them rolls, it pops some of the kernels off the ear. Where this has some of the shucks still attached, and when it hits that, them shucks hold that corn inside them shucks. Where with the rolls in the ear corn picker, it's trying to pull them shucks off too. So when it does that, you lose that little bit of kernels that head shelled, and you lose them. Well, this, most of the time, you see most of the shucks still on the ear, and the thrashing and shelling and separation happens inside the machine where all those kernels are caught. Where on the ear corn picker, once they get pinched and they fall off, they fall through the rolls and they fall on the ground until it actually, the ear ends up in the throat in the chain that drags it up into the shucking beds, where once it gets to shucking beds, if the kernels fall through, they end up in the kernel processor underneath, and they're drug over and they're put in the conveyor to go up to the wagon. So kind of show you how a corn head works and kind of the difference between a corn head and an ear corn picker. Now if you have a John Deere 300 ear corn picker, that actually uses the same corn head as a John Deere combine. So you have this setup on it. Although you have fluted rolls, they still tear up the stalks, pull them through the same way, but they're not as aggressive as a knife roll. A knife roll is extremely aggressive and it chews up the stalks pretty good. That's why we like knife rolls. But other than that, the John Deere corn head is the same. They do have John Deere corn heads with knife rolls, but most of them are fluted rolls, and they don't quite chew up the stalks as well as the knife rolls. That's why I prefer knife rolls. But other than that, the John Deere corn head is identical, works the same, stripper plates, gathering chains, all the same. So there's a little bit of a anatomy on a corn head compared to an ear corn picker. So we're gonna head home now. So I'm heading to the end of the field, gonna go out the crossing and get on the road and head home. So I think we're gonna end this video right here. I'd like to get it uploading, so it's uploading this afternoon for anybody that's bored and wants to watch one of my videos, because I'm probably getting pretty boring to watch. No, not really. So I'm heading to the end of the field, gonna go across the crossing, get on the road and head home. So I'm gonna end this video right here so I can get it uploading, so that anybody that wants a video to watch this afternoon, if they're bored, they'll have a video to watch of one of mine. So anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because you're gonna enjoy my channel. Almost 3,000 people have done it already, and they're enjoying it. So I'm loving the feedback, the positive feedback that everybody's giving me. I think I'm doing a good job with this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you that watches I try to comment back on as many comments as I possibly can. If I haven't got to your comment yet, I will get to it eventually, I promise. It just takes me a little bit of time. It's a lot to process. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see all you guys on the next one. We're probably going to go back to the shop, do some unboxing videos, show you some few things coming up, and then that'll probably be it for today. So, thanks for watching.